Hey, beautiful people, what's up? Fred here. Today I'm going to talk about something that happened to me about 2 years, about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago during the pandemic. It's all about personal finance for teachers and people who are struggling with their personal finance. Suddenly, I blinked, and now I'm over 50. A couple years actually, over 50 now. So, it's kind of shocking in a way, but unexpected, pretty good. So far, I'm enjoying it. But during the pandemic, I had a lot of time, as many of us did, and I'm not discounting people who struggled, and there's so many people who struggled through the pandemic. And my thoughts and my heart goes out to all of you who lost people, who lost family, who lost loved ones. But also, it did offer me and my family a time to readjust things, especially in terms of our personal finances. As many of you know, I'm a teacher. My wife's a teacher also. And, we don't make a lot of money, but we're blessed. We are lucky. We're lucky that we were able to move up here into the Sacramento area, a suburb in the Sacramento area. And we're enjoying it. But we did struggle also. There are many things that I didn't learn about personal finance in general, and I had to learn it on my own using books, lots of videos, lots of podcasts, a lot of that stuff, which a lot of it's available online. Now, I never really was interested in personal finance, especially as a teacher. It's a different mentality, different way of thinking, different terminology, lots of jargon, a lot of confusing things. And, when you're young, you can sign a contract and then you accept it. And then in the teaching world, you go to a faculty room or there's a faculty meeting coming up, and there is a financial person there to help talk to you and sign up for different kinds of retirement plans, investment plans. And I was naive. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I signed up for an annuity, which sounded really great, a guaranteed annuity, just the word name, guaranteed and annuity, not really realizing what it is. But I did it anyway, did it for a few years. Then naively, I did a lot of mistakes. I pulled out a lot of it when we moved to the Sacramento area to buy a brand new house. That was one of the mistakes that a lot of smart financial people will say don't do that, but we did it, and I don't have regrets about it, but I wish I did it differently. Then the pandemic hit, and I had to wake up because during the pandemic we didn't know what's going on. We're thinking about the future, and then suddenly time has flown, blink of an eye, and I'm much closer to retirement. Well, I'm supposed to be much closer to retirement. Be ready for retirement, I should say. I'm not ready. So the past couple of years, I had to adjust and make better choices and see if I can retire on time, whatever my timeline was, but I really wanted to retire early. I didn't take advantage of my younger years of teaching, and I've been teaching now. This is my 23rd year in teaching. So you see a lot of time. And that's where something called the compounding effect really, really shines. But I can't do that anymore. So I have to be smarter, more aggressive, more strategic. If I did it when I was younger, I could set it and forget it. But, young, didn't know. Then I looked at a lot of articles about how a lot of Americans aren't ready. I think more than half of Americans don't have any kind of real meaningful retirement accounts. And that's scary. And then there's this guy that I read or heard past couple of weeks, Larry Fink. He is the CEO of BlackRock. Now, if you don't know what BlackRock is, BlackRock basically is a fidelity. It's the biggest fund manager in the United States, if not the world. Basically, it is managing $10 trillion. 10 trillion. Imagine that. Trillion. So they have a lot of power. They have a lot of influence. Some say BlackRock influences the federal treasury, right? Think of all the conspiracy theories about that. Maybe some truth in that. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this. But Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, he did say that he did acknowledge the problems of Americans not saving enough for their traditional retirement age. He says that medicine and technology has helped us live longer, which is true. He says we need to work longer, well into our 70s. He didn't really give a number, but I think that's what he implied, well into our 70s. Think about that. Imagine teaching. Imagine working your job past 70. I don't know. What do you think? I'm very curious of what you guys think about this. I don't know. I mean, I keep reading about how, yes, we've been living longer, but we do have, when we get older, our eyes deteriorate, our health deteriorates, our mental acuity, it deteriorates, our memory deteriorates. We get older. Also, the issue of ageism is real. Ageism is where there is discrimination against people older people, older employees. They face ageism. It's harder for them to get a job, and they are nudged out of the company or whatever they are working for. Or they would be given small tasks or whatever. A lot of these people, in the BlackRock financial world, they're saying that Social Security will be insolvent by 2034, which is my target date, I believe, supposedly my target date of retirement-ish. That means that Social Security won't give me 100% of the money that I am entitled to, that I put in over these years. But it will probably be insolvent where they'll only give me about 85%, 80%, maybe 75% of what I put in, what I deserve, what I'm entitled to, what you're entitled to. So that means if I'm supposed to get 2,000 and I'm only going to get 80% of that. And that's nowhere near enough to have a comfortable living to cover whatever expenses I have, life expenses and medical expenses, expenses. So this really got me going. There's this quote by Larry Fink, and I am excited to share with you all the things I've learned over the years, the past couple of years, of how to say what I should have done, what I am doing now. Because teachers, and just not teachers, many Americans, many people around the world, they don't know what's happening in their own personal finances. They don't know how much they're exactly making. They don't know how much their expenses are. They don't know how to save properly. They don't know how to invest their money. They think that Social Security and a guaranteed annuity will save them. It will help, for sure. But those are just small lifeboats. We need more lifeboats to save ourselves, to take care of ourselves when we get older. And that's the point in the next few episodes that I want to share with you. We're going to talk about emergency fund. We're going to talk about retirement plans. We're going to talk about the FU money. We're going to talk about investing a little bit. Now, I am not a financial expert, but I've been reading a lot of these great books out there, from The Millionaire Next Door. It's a classic, very well recommended by so many people, so many experts. Also Ramit Sethi's book, and also the Bogleheads book, and also Dave Ramsey's, and also the Money Guys, and a lot of these other amazing resources that they don't get enough play or enough, how can I say this, advertising out there. What you see in TikTok, what you see in Instagram and Facebook is a lot of get rich scams and schemes. Some of them may work, but they're even harder to succeed in. So be on the lookout for the next episode. It's going to be about the emergency fund, because I do believe that's the first thing you need to do after you realize what your situation is financially and what you can do about it. All right, folks, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.